Gabriel Lee, and I am the director of Don't Say Murder.
I am Danny Castillo, and I am the showrunner for Don't Say Murder.
My name is Era Finman, and I was the unit production manager on Don't Say Murder.
I'm Annalise Jones. I was the associate producer for Don't Say Murder.
My name is Coley Irving, and I was line producer for Don't Say Murder.
I'm Matthew Bloodgood, and I was the cinematographer for Don't Say Murder.
Hi, I'm Samantha Sloan, and I played Riley in Don't Say Murder.
My name is Daniel Egnall, and I played Peter Stone in Don't Say Murder.
This is Ryan McBride. I played Oliver in Don't Say Murder.
Yeah, so my name is Cameron Weisner, and my role is the ever so dramatic Bridget Winters.
Myself, Danny, Era, and Annalise, we were all producers in the writer's room for Don't Say Murder during the television writing class. And there were obviously several other students that were in that class that have gone on to be just a part of the production itself. To describe the writing process for Don't Say Murder, I think early on it was a lot of baby steps, kind of making sure that, you know, it was a class, but we were also trying to assemble a product that we were all happy with, just with the text. And so it took a very long time because we wanted everybody to get a chance to add their own input to the script, and then ultimately it was, it was a very long process. Week by week we were adding not only to our outline, we were fleshing out these characters, and then ultimately when we got to the last couple weeks we were putting the whole script together. The entire class, we split up all of the scenes by, I think everybody got 2 to 3 scenes, and we wrote the whole thing. And then it was the producer's job at the end of the semester to kind of go that extra mile and assemble the whole script and kind of have one cohesive vision for the whole project. So there were a couple of long nights in the library where we were just kind of pounding it down and staying up and locking everything together. So long, just like everything else.
So I learned a lot through having to get a crew together and go through like the writing room all the way to, you know, the screen, which will be later this semester. Yeah, I learned a lot. It gave me a lot of big leadership points. I'd like to say I learned the most through, you know, finding a team and trying to find a way to make sure everybody could shine in the places they exceed best in.
So what inspired me to get on board with this project was mostly the people, especially Danny, because I had just met him in the writing process. He was super passionate and excited about his idea, and he really knew what he wanted to do with it. And then I knew Coley and Annalise from a previous class, so all combined, they wanted to do it, I wanted to do it. It was just a bunch of people putting their passions together, and that's what really inspired me to be on this project.
A couple years before I actually enrolled at UNT, I attended a 48-hour short film festival here with my brother, and we're watching all these short films, and one in particular stood out to me called Nixick. And I remember watching that film and being just really, really impressed by it. And I said to myself, man, I would really love the chance to work with the director of that short. Fast forward to pre-production for Don't Say Murder. Our producers are receiving reels from different directors, and we saw one that was very, very good. And one of the first, or couple clips within the reel was from Nixick. And it turned out our director-to-be, Gabriel Lee, was the director for it, and we were all pretty much in agreement that that was going to be our director.
I tried desperately to influence the blocking in order to kind of create blocking that made my camera movement that I wanted to do work, you know? So whereas maybe a particular moment was stationary in the script, we were I would be I kind of want to move the camera from here to here, and I wanted to do this, you know, so let's try and block the scene around that. And Gabriel and I really just tried to make as much of the film kinetic as possible, because we wanted that rush. it's an aggressively fast-paced 50 minutes, I would say. But we wanted that to feel intentional and not like a mistake. So I felt like I was super specific about what shots I wanted and when I wanted them, and it was pretty tough having to limit the amount of takes. So there was never, in my opinion, like a perfect take of a shot. But I don't know, like I said, I just really tried my best to, with Gabriel, be able to influence the character blocking in order to get the camera to do what I was wanting to do with it within reason, and to actually motivate some of the aggressive and flashy movements, you know?
I would say, like, in the final product, the horror elements of DSM are pretty subdued. It's definitely more of a comedy, I think. Which I didn't really have very much experience with. I remember the producers were asking me, because I sent them some of my stuff, and I tend to gravitate towards, like, I guess, darker and more self-serious subject matter, which is, like, very different than what DSM demanded, because there's this campy element to it that I think helps sell a lot of the content, you know, by kind of covering it in this veneer of camp. And so I remember, like, the first few weekends, I was really confused. I was really confused because I was just trying to play everything so straight, and everything was coming out so weird and canned and awkward, and it just there was a big learning curve there for me as far as finding the tone of it.
Creating this film was a really good experience. Most of my film experience has been more dramatic, so it was fun to do something on the more comedic side. I really enjoyed the people that I met, and it was just a really fun experience to get with a bunch of friends and make like an hour-long pilot episode and have fun while doing it.
I knew that it was an ensemble script. Gabriel had reached out to me and said, hey, you know, I was actually in Corpus Christi at the time, because I went to school in Corpus, and I was in my last semester, so I auditioned for the role kind of as a joke, and then I got casted, and I was like, oh shit, well now I have to go to Denton and back like 3 times before summer even starts, when like the real filming starts. So when I read the script, it was enough to make me do that. You know, it was just so compelling and so fun and so like kind of thrilling, you know, and being given that opportunity to play Peter, such a complex role, really was the thing that was making me so excited.
I think my favorite moment on set, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but there is a moment where there's some blood somewhere. I don't know how there's blood in this. Nobody dies or anything, but it just gets like splattered on my face, and just kind of the thrill of knowing I have one chance to do this, because if I don't, they're gonna have to like redo my makeup and everything. We're gonna start all over. But like just that fun, like, like in that moment was a blast. I loved that. Yeah.
There was a few challenges to acting this role. I think the biggest one was just trying to remain in the headspace that I'm better than everyone else. Because I'm not like that. I like to think I'm pretty self-aware. Oliver is self-aware to the point where he knows nobody likes him, but he uses that to his advantage. So trying to just like stay in the mindset of, I am super arrogant, I know it, and I know I'm better than all of you, was difficult, especially for longer shoots. But it was really a lot of fun whenever Gabriel said action, and we were thrown into a scene, and I was just like, oh yes, I know what to do. I am on it, and I am better than every single person here. None of you hold a candle to me.
And remember,
Don't say.
I'm begging you, don't do it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Bad word. Don't say it. It's not gonna end well.
Don't say what?
murder.